And then, we thought she would be done a little bit early. No. Their last day of finals.
Somebody forgot to mute that part of the track.
The dorm is Friday the 13th. And they have to be out of the dorm Saturday the 14th.
Yep.
So, yay. And I'm on the other side of the country in that, vast swath of haunt nothingness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's classic.
But normally, if
That is
there's something
classic.
open, we're going to try to beat
Classic.
it. Oh, yeah.
Well, you do a lot of
Always check your editing before
Find
you
it all.
export.
We try.
I'm really gonna pull
We do. We both
Company's
like
getting
research
fired.
it. So we will spend time, just poring over these pages and trying to figure out what's open, when they're going to be open, what kinds of events that are Halloween or haunt adjacent
This is
are
when everybody
available.
starts getting excited. behind
And
the
honestly,
scenes
that's how
on
we
where
started
the
writing
public
the
knows this
review.
came from.
Windshield
and how
wiper
they're gonna
motor.
fix it
I
before the
used
show
a
starts.
windshield wiper motor for the cauldron itself, and then a Ranger motor for the head movement.
Yeah, we didn't have a moving head.
And once again, did you find this design, or did you just sit there and grab a bunch of different pieces of pipe and just start putting it together?
No, I would love to be able to say that I came up with this. It was
I'm right there with you.
Honestly,
yeah, I don't remember exactly. There was, I wanted to say it was some website. I remember I have it printed out by the time. But it broke it down into everything. Of course, that never really works. I don't know about y'all, but when you're building something, it never goes according to plan as far as dimensions.
Right.
it's true.
And so it was the basic. And in fact, I used a different head, a different mask in the very beginning. But it was really kind of grotesque because it was an old witch's mask, and then it had the actual dress of the witch, and it was going to be a nice low-cut dress to kind of show off the rib cage and all that. But that head was just so heavy, I had to go with this other witch, which I'm glad, because you can see she ended up kind of looking like.
It's all good. Yep.
I mean, this when I saw this video last night, I was Brian Gregor in Ohio, and he goes, that's the reason that I built the monster box. I saw that video and I said, I have all of those things. He's like, most of us built a monster because of this.
Yep.
Yeah. I made this comment on this about what I use. I'm like, really, man? I maybe do it with
Do you even have this stuff anymore?
Oh, no. No.
Do you even make corded drills?
Maybe not. Look, there was an upgrade. Look, now I put changes away, and I have my own remote.
And if you look real close, when he puts the thing up, it says MIA, Monster in He forgot the beat. MIA. And with remotes, they're always missing an action, so I get
Right. Yeah.
What in the Sam hell is this?
I actually think I still have that remote.
It's proof that I'm
Pretty
not
positive. Yeah, I think I gave this away. I ended up giving this to another haunter. I missed that thing. That was
So, what is your favorite prop? Well, I remember this one. What is your favorite prop? The best one, the most favorite one that you built /
And the next PA, there he is. I want to say a costume that he made himself, almost 1,000% sure. Ricky, can you confirm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. We have a costume of Ricky that we purchased. He's an excellent. He makes. I want to say probably all of the costumes.
No, we have a lot. We have a lot of really talented costumers that make like right there.
See, that's the thing about this place. If nobody's ever been to Castle Blood, it is unlike any haunt that you've ever been to.
Wednesday night, and you know what that means. The Haunt Hour, with your host, Troy Crivello. Susie Fleesick. And Dan Doble.
Boo.
Tonight we welcome Mike Ross of Sinister, Sidney, and Haunt Chandler.
And Laurie Ross.
So sit back, strap in, and welcome to the Haunt Tower.
That boy says, strap in. Let's do this. Welcome, everybody.
Master, yes, Master. I'll do better next time. Stop out.
I'll tell you what. The clapping was definitely not for that intro.
Wow.
Yes, Master. Yes, Master.
Yeah.
I messed up like 17 different things in that.
That must have been one of your. That wasn't you, Troy. That had to have been one of your many assistants.
I farmed that one out.
Definitely gonna have to get a hold of that guy because that guy's.
Yeah,
He's never doing
I think he works
again.
I think he works for Inside the Haunt Industry. I think is what.
Yeah, outside the clown industry. That's that guy.
Yeah. The clown show for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So if anybody, obviously you noticed I didn't mute that part of the thing up there, and I forgot to change it that it was Mike and Laurie Ross because I did that months ago when I made that. And at the time, he didn't say whether or not Laurie was going to be on. So then I was like, well, then I'll just not fix it. How about that?
You showed him that he's not on the show tonight.
You have to answer me right away or else I will screw it up.
I hated that beginning because I could hear myself talking a lot, and I hate that.
Well, it was like your episode because it was
Ricky. Yeah, it was Ricky, but then the beginning of it though was Haunted Housewives.
Yep.
That's who was talking at the beginning.
It's all about you, and then Sean and Steve was on there. So
I'm not enjoyable.
So if you're not noticing by now, that screen changes. The background behind the chairs that changes. There's different movies that are on that, and it's
why are you giving away all this stuff?
Because
let the people watch. They'll see it.
Oh, believe me, there's more coming. I've only made 4 of them so far. I've got 15 to make.
Well, you've used the same entry for me, and I think I sent you 3 videos. Yeah, all 3 times it's been the same one.
Did you get mine?
No, I'm
That's good.
Here, let me call. Hey, Elizabeth, did you get Dan's walk in your email? Because it's not in mine.
Shit.
No, Lizzie didn't get it either. So
I'm gonna have to talk. I might have sent it to the email for that editor that did the work in this intro.
Clownshow at InsideTheHauntIndustry.com. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that one. I don't have access to that email, so
I'll try and send it to you and see if I can get it to you by next week. So anyway, welcome to the Haunt Hour, everybody. I'm Dan with Troy and Susie, and we talk about Halloween shit for an hour or so.
We do.
What's new? What's new in the world of Halloween and haunting?
My light's weird.
Would you mean like
news?
News, not nudes.
Not nudes. Not OnlyFans. It didn't say that either. It said haunt news.
She said it first.
Half our viewers.
She said it first. No. Drinking word.
Nudes.
Ready to take a drink?
Nudes.
Don't say the P word.
Don't worry. I have a feeling it's gonna be all over the place here in a minute.
It's gonna come up somewhere.
In fact, that word came up at work today.
No.
Yes, it was one of the women I work with. It's
Donald, I did.
Moist and panties.
No, not together. Not together. Wait, somebody just dropped us. I think YouTube is probably like, you're not allowed to do that.
Are we gonna do like?
We're done.
I wonder if it's gonna be something like where, like at Pee Wee's Playhouse, where like if you say panties,
okay, yeah, we should do that.
Or not.
Let's do it.
This is a professional show.
Get out of control. There's gonna be a lot of screaming.
So, Susie, do you have any news?
Yeah, a little bit. I had my first haunt. I had my first haunt meeting on Saturday.
I saw that at the coffee shop.
But I thought you said you weren't part of the haunt anymore.
I'm like, I make all of the decisions that are important, and then all the dumb shit I don't care about.
So
Just pretty much everything.
So what does Troy do then?
When you have a meeting like this, what do you guys talk about? And
you know what? Everybody always wants to talk about a budget. I am a non-budgeter. It's so funny. I don't budget anything because I can't. Because I feel like if you give a budget, if you're under budget, you're like, oh, well, we still have $5,000 to spend and you don't need to. Does this make sense to anybody else? But if you don't have a budget, you just keep spending. And every time you spend, you're like, I don't know if we can afford that. But like, I don't know. I feel like I like doing things on the cheap if I can. So if I give a budget to my people, then they're like, oh, we have all this money to spend. When in reality, if I say there's no budget, they're going to try to do it as cheap as they can and use the big money for like things that you can't cheapen, like poison props, like new thing we may be getting. You know what I mean? So stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we talked about like we did not walk the haunt. It was freezing that night, so we didn't. And so we just talked, you know, like planning things out, what we're changing. Troy was discussed a little bit. Yes, Troy Crivolone, not my Troy.
Really? Why was
that? Just I don't know. Just in case you ever would come through my haunt and the things that I would want to like impress you with. Yeah, right.
Was I not up on my computer last night looking at haunted houses in a certain state? I don't know. Maybe I was.
Maybe. So yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, like things we want to change. Like we're only in year 8. So we want to make sure that, you know, what worked last year, we're going to do it again. What didn't work in previous years, whatever. We are probably going to bring back, and I thought I was done with this, but I think we're going to bring back Call to Queue. I don't love it, but I think we're going to bring it back because we had this situation last year where we didn't do Call to Queue. So everybody just kind of stood in the line, and we had an indoor line and an outdoor line. And the indoor line housed a ton of people. So if you would drive by, it looked like nobody was in line.
Oh.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
You want an outside line.
I need you know me and my outside atmosphere. So that's been a battle. So we're just going to do it. And we're only going to call in like 4 groups at a time. And then the front hallway right now has a drop ceiling, my whole front hall. And Micah and my friend John have been like on me about removing the drop ceiling because it's 12 feet. And what does that remind you of? 12 feet. So so that leaves a lot of room for things. So we just talked about, you know, vision
like a
things.
catwalk.
No, it's just the entryway. So just some cool things. But keep in mind, this is also the entrance to the coffee shop. So it has to kind of be PG and it has to be family friendly to an extent. But this is where you wait to go into the haunt. Maybe like a 12-foot skeleton or 5 if I can get my hands on
We went through a haunt in Texas on Sunday after the tours, and it was over in Fort Worth, and they're gonna kill me for not remembering the name of it. But part of the haunt went over like it was 2 stories. So like part of it went over where other people were walking down below. So they were going through the beginning part of the haunt and you were walking over above them. And you actually went outside and came on this catwalk on the outside of the building that was right above the queue line. So then those people could see you up there and you could see them and stuff like that. Gave people excitement, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's neat.
I mean, I don't know if that's possible or have people
not really
over your queue line, you know.
Yeah, not really, but yeah, I mean, you know, we're working on some things now. It's difficult because we do have running businesses in there. So we have to make sure we can work while still not interrupting daily, you know, daily stuff that we're doing at the coffee shop. But yeah, had our meeting, did not discuss budget because I don't believe in that. And just talked about some things that we want to do, some new things and we're installing cameras all throughout the haunt because we haven't had them yet as of yet. I know.
Right.
Yeah. So we're doing that. What? Nobody better be doing live streaming OnlyFans from Crawford School of Terror. I'm going to have somebody.
I'm just saying.
Maybe they are. I'll catch them.
21 and overnight instead of an 18 overnight.
Maybe.
Troy, what do you got for news?
I have a quick little, you know what? I think we can play it while we're on here, I think. So then we can talk about it while it's playing, I think. Can we do that? We can. So a bunch of haunts are having St. Patrick's Day. You know what? Let's go back and see that. So that is Haunted Hills Estates.
Yep, that's like 20 minutes from me.
That is Bennett's Curse. That's up in New England. Wells Township is in Ohio. They're having one. Arx Mortis, a favorite of our guests. They're having a spring break one. Now, this one is Brighton Asylum. This is a lot of production value for a one-night show.
That is.
And the end of this is pretty creepy, and like I feel for the actor. So he's, he's got all these finding all these coins. He's rich. He's rich. Look, you guys. Gotta melt it down. That's Dan's neck chain from the 80s. He wanted to be young, run DMC.
Oh my god.
So he's pouring into this. That's a lot of gold that's got to fill that thing. So that's not, but what the hell?
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't do that.
Nope.
Hell no.
Nightmare is in Chesapeake, Virginia. Hudson is also in Ohio. They're a JC's haunt, so that's cool. And then, of course, this one is Dark Hour. Leprechaun Lights Out. So
interactive.
Yeah. So it's kind of playing on the idea they had for the Valentine's in January, where they had you being chased by the serial killers and everything, and the monsters. I think this is going to be kind of a play on that. Here, hold on. So we can see that one. And I think it's, he said it's going to be different for every single group that goes through. So even though the last group just came out, if they say, well, this happened and this happened and this happened, the next group will not get that same experience. So that's cool.
Ooh, that's fun.
So obviously it'll probably be Lights Out, which, whatever. But yeah, you got Field of Screams and Panic. That's in North Carolina. And then the Six Flags in California and in Texas both have Scream.
You don't have Ricky on there.
What?
You don't have Castle Blood on there.
Well, I typed in as much as I could to find as many as I could.
There we go.
But yes, Castle Blood. So
Ricky always does the show.
Check your local areas, your local favorite haunt. See if they're doing one for either St. Patrick's Day or spring break. I know there is one that is doing a Easter one as well. So haunts are not open just for Halloween anymore.
Please tell me they have a demented Easter bunny. That would be amazing.
I will show it. I will show it next week because I don't want to keep going with
stuff.
I
love it.
But yeah, they've got the demented bunnies in videos and stuff, and it's pretty creepy. So there's not too many that are doing Easter, but this one is, and it's in Massachusetts, I think. So yeah, so we've got haunts to go to this weekend. So you're not doing anything else. So get
green beer and go get stirred.
Yeah, go get scared.
Or go to the club and get turned at the club.
Do you need the gold chain back?
It's gone now.
Dan, do you have any news?
I don't. I know that the Haunter's Life released their first video today.
I watched it this morning.
Yeah, so did I.
It's good.
Very excited.
Good.
Very excited to see Bart and Michael back on the screen on
Those
the
two
YouTube.
are inseparable, and they are awesome.
Yes. And everybody should go watch them.
Inspiration. Yep, Haunter's Life. Good web show. It's right under ours.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No,
they don't have the cool inside jokes that we do, maybe.
Believe me, they do.
They certainly got more than we do.
But they don't have the ones that we do. Jesus, can I please have one
they
thing?
do not have any of the inside jokes that Susie has.
Right. And they don't have panties.
They don't have panties. They do not.
They don't have, neither do I.
Oh shit.
Speaking of panties, let's get our hands dirty.
Why is this always when it goes wrong?
I know, right? So my friend Wallace he decided to stop it, Dan. We got to get through this with being serious. So this is a mold of Dan's bigger vampire tooth, and nom 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 nom. These are plastic pellets that you can buy, and you can melt them down, and you can make them into the shape of a candy corn. And then
cool.
you can you run it under your cold water there, get some cheap Walmart paint. I like how he advertises his haunt in every video that he's got. Look at this. Like in the beginning of it, now the little stickers there. I might be getting a t-shirt in the mail. But yeah, so you can make your own candy corn. So
just
if
hope
you don't want
nobody
to go
eats it, right?
Well, but like if let's say you're going to add stuff to a costume or you're going to add something to a mask or a prop
instead
or
of like
you want to put candy corn, then you could do that. One person in the thread when he announced when he posted this, they said, "Well, isn't candy corn like Twinkies and they just never ever go bad? So you could just like candy corn too, you know."
Earl says fake candy corn that tastes about the same as the real stuff.
Yeah,
that is very true.
Very true.
So, but yeah.
Handful.
This is trick or treat haunt. You can see.
Stop! I'm muting myself.
I'm trying to keep this going.
Speaking of panties, let's get
I'm the master of segues. Okay, sorry, Frankie. I'm trying to be serious during your how-to. So you go trick or treat haunt on YouTube and check out his stuff while Dan laughs his panties off.
Oh my god. Thanks, Sean.
No, I am not ever serious.
No, never. Try not to be.
So that is your how-to of the week. And I think, let's see, we got to figure this out better because you guys throw me off. We did so much better last week.
We did. Well, yeah, we did. Facts. Convention updates.
Facts. So we have basically two kind of easy ones. They're not really like one's way far in advance and then one is now. You can book your Trans World hotels, sort of. They're kind of having an issue with it. Some of them aren't available yet. Some of them are. Some don't have links. So maybe either just call or wait a week and then all the links will be up. And the other one is I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to have so many dang tabs open. Fear Expo is in Kentucky.
What?
So you can check them out if you want to go. If you're in, if you shut up, Dan. Shut up, Dan.
Wait, so they're in Kentucky on the.
Look at him. Look at him. He's.
Wait, what? What happened? What happened?
What are you? What
There
are
we
you
go.
talking about? Were you trying to make a joke? Were you trying to make a joke like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something?
No.
No.
I'm making no jokes.
Oh yes, they are in
Jokes
Owensboro, Kentucky. You can check them out. They do have a haunt tour. They have costume ball. They have everything that all the other conventions have. But they do it a little differently than the other ones too. So you have that. Plenty of vendors, plenty of opportunities to hang out with people and do all that good stuff. So you have one convention
a fun little
this
town
month
too. It's a safe little town, I will say. It's a
yes,
nice little
safe. Yes.
town.
Much safer than St. Louis.
Definitely.
Leaps and bounds.
Goes without saying.
Yeah. So I think April doesn't have any unless they're like Comic-Cons or like Maskapaloozas and things like that. And then May and June, July have some. So we'll yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Troy.
I don't have any rants today either.
What? Seriously?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Dan, do you have a rant?
No, no, not really. I wasn't planning on rant. I have to plan rants because if I rant off the cuff, it's probably not good. Somebody will be mad.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a slow week other than the St. Patrick's haunts and the conventions coming up. So it's kind of a slow week other than that.
What you're telling me, Troy, is you didn't troll anyone this week?
No, I did, but I can't talk about it.
What?
But the other no, I didn't. No, I didn't. One I did, but it's whatever.
But, it's not a rant then, is what you're telling me.
No. It was just holding feet to the fire.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So other than that, I think speaking of holding feet to the fire, I think that we have
your segues are always just chef's kiss.
Feet and Laurie's the fire hands down.
Feet in the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feet in the fire.
Names.
Before we continue, how long have you guys been married?
Since 2012.
2012 is when we officially got married.
But see, you guys have a really cool story. I don't want to screw it up. So can you go way back?
Yeah.
We
This is a fun
go
story about
we
We go way back.
We go way back to let's see if we were that'd be 79 right about 1980. 1979, 80, right?
79, 80, yeah.
79, 80. We went to school together. We went to junior high together, and we're in
Hi, Kisa.
and we're in a drama post doing theater stuff. We did theater together back then.
Okay.
And we went out time or
Something.
two, and and then went our ways as we went into high school. She went to one, I went to another, and didn't really see each other at all, except one little odd run-in that we had that for some reason stuck in her brain. And pardon me.
Damned shit sticks up here.
Yeah, stuck in her brain. And 35 years later, she stalked me down on MySpace.
Yeah.
I love that.
MySpace. And said, "Hey, did you used to live in Raven Oaks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hey, boo boo." And we started talking again.
Yeah.
And
the rest is history.
Now it turned out we needed that time apart. We ended up growing into the same person, but her boobs are bigger.
And you stopped drinking, so there was that too.
Well, we both quit doing all mind-altering drugs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we cleaned up and all that kind of stuff. She partied a little bit longer than I did, but it's okay. She could. And so we're now clean and sober and whatever.
And the old folks in the haunted industry.
And we're some of the old ones now, and the grandpas and the moms and dads, the grandpas and weird uncle and aunt and that kind of thing. As you posted in the little description, the haunt family, we just call them family.
Yeah,
right.
I'm mom, as you saw, Kesa. Hi, mom and dad. And
right.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
Oh,
thank you, Everett. He made a comment earlier, and I'm going to have to explain that.
The litter digger.
You leave little digger alone. The last time I saw Everett was in Alabama. We were doing the Arx Mortis, My Bloody Valentine. And we were at a house where a bunch of the actors were staying at and doing a live from there. And they wanted Everett to come and get on screen. And he didn't want to get on camera. And he was over there and he didn't want to talk and all that. And I went 5, 4, 3. And by the time I got to 2, he was in front of the camera.
Thank you, Teresa.
See, I don't like to do 1, 2. My parents never did 1, 2, because you never know how high they can go. If you start at the top number and you go down, you know where the end.
You know at the end.
Oh, I knew where the end was with ours.
Yeah.
If she hit 2, you better be doing whatever she said, or you were dead.
Yeah.
Because if she had to say 3, you were getting killed.
I scored.
Right.
So yeah, that was the story that you brought up.
Got it. So generally we like to start off because we asked you guys to be here as you, not as your characters, because we wanted to get to know you guys a lot more. Also, is this Dan is usually on Haunt Chat Live on the second episode or third?
Second episode of the season, but the season always started in May.
Right.
So it was June. However, Haunt Chat Live, I don't know that we'll have a June show. We're kind of been on hiatus for a little bit.
Right.
And because we've done all the ones that are out now, and we're doing and honestly, when I started that whole thing, I had a part-time, I was working 12 to 20 hours a week, semi-retired type of a deal, and I am now full-time day where I have to get up at 4 a.m. And so by get home, it's just you're only doing one show a month, and it was killing me.
Well, because you did the promos and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
So
you did
you know,
promos
you
and
had
songs,
production.
and
Yeah,
there's a lot of production with it.
I might still do a few of those in the future, just because I like doing.
Just do specials.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Haunted
and
Live special.
the other thing was before the spinal stimulator started working in my back to help reduce my pain levels.
Right.
He was feeling really bad because sitting in this chair for half an hour was just more than I could take. I could barely hobble out of here by the end of the show.
Yeah.
So I think he was taking mercy on me too.
Yeah, probably besides Alan and Shannon, you two are always together. Like out of most haunt couples, like I've gone places without Ashley, things like that. You know, Dan goes everywhere without his wife because his wife hates Halloween.
Mike and Tiffany are always together, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah. Well, and they've
Troy
been
and I work together.
Okay, so just shoot down my argument. Whatever. I was trying to make you feel good about being
literally. We're together 7 a.m. Well,
you did. Oh,
we work our day job together too.
I got you.
Well, again, Mike and I are the same person. I just have bigger boobies.
Mike,
you guys actually said a couple things at the same time. So you are the same person.
Yeah. Mike's working on it though. He'll get there.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting old. They're starting to sag, you know.
So, Mike,
Sidney shirt.
well, and we can ask this of both of you because you're both haunters in your own rights as well. Why don't you tell us how each of you got into like Halloween? Was it obviously, you know, doing trick or treating as kids and stuff like that? But what got you into creating Halloween?
Speaking of 1979,
right?
When you were like what, 70?
Okay, well, whatever.
Man, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that's right.
We'll start this one over here because you know he's got an ego big enough so we don't need to hear it.
Yes, Laurie, tell us about you.
Mine was when I was 11, 12 years old, maybe. My older brother was working for one of the local radio station haunted houses that they did every year.
Yeah.
And from lack of him having a choice, he had to take me with him. Right. And I got to go backstage in the makeup room and watch all these people put on all this cool shit and then get to go out and scare people. And I fell in love.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That was it. I mean, that was back in the early 70s. I loved it.
She was hooked.
Well, 70, right, 78, 77, 78. Somewhere in
and
there.
That was probably like one of the only haunts in the area too, right? Like they
no,
we
there
had
was
lots of them.
There was like
really?
3 or 4 different radio stations that would put on a haunt every year. They'd find an old beat up
radio
house.
stations and the TV stations would put on haunts.
Wow. Okay.
So that's
cool.
when all the haunts were like to benefit cancer or muscular dystrophy or children's hospital or whatever. They were all benefits.
And it was usually either JC's or, like you said, the radio stations.
The radio stations, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably because they had the money and the sponsors. The sponsors were already there. You know, they didn't have to.
Well, and they made money off of it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They donated the excess, but you know they kicked it back into their own business for whatever they spent.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's where I fell in love with it, and I never got over it.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to get over it.
I was 2 years old.
Oh, shut up.
That was in 1742.
Right.
So I get the first Halloween costume I remember my mom made for me, and this was kindergarten, and we got to wear our costumes to school.
Oh,
and by the way, I did at that time. I only walked a mile to school uphill, both ways.
Right. Yeah.
But we got to wear a costume to school, and then we did this at noontime. We did this parade around the school. All the kids. It was kindergarten to 6th grade, and we did a Halloween parade around the school, and all the parents were there, you know. And my mom had made me just the super most awesomest costume. I was Snoopy.
Awesome.
Scary.
Big nose, front nose. Yeah, I'm sure it was only that big because I was little. But when I always loved Halloween and doing that stuff. And for me, it was 1979. I finally, some friends and I went to one of those haunted houses, and I think it was KRCB. I'm not sure. No, it must
I
have been
wasn't
Coyle.
there.
KRCB was Iowa. But anyway, we went and I this is great. This is awesome. I want to do this. I was kind of lightly into theater, and I came around front. I said, how old do you got to be to work here? And he said, you got to be 16. And I said, I'll see you tomorrow. I wasn't quite 16, but I didn't tell him that.
Right.
And I started working there, and the smell of the latex and the werewolf hair stuck in my nose all night, and the grease paints and all that kind of stuff hooked me. My actual first scene back when haunts they weren't themed, they were rooms. And you went to a room and you went to a room. My first scene was an alien in a Star Wars cantina scene.
Wow.
And my very first night, I got mace in my mask.
Oh my God.
Oof.
And I cried.
Yeah.
And the eyes just filled up with water, and I just freaking kept going. And I worked the entire night with mace in my mask.
Wow.
I wasn't about to quit it. It was what I wanted to do.
Right.
And then it just kept going from there.
I would have quit.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I've had
show,
worse
I
things
would have
than
walked
mace.
out.
I've had worse things than mace since then, but I climb shit with sciatica. All right.
Yeah, I know. I got that.
Yeah, I get that.
So then, you go through high school, and all that. Did you continue through high school? And I mean, did you just keep haunting at different places and just kind of just move from place to place?
My older brother was one of those loner type guys and all of that. He and I, he'd have me tag along with him all kinds of places. So yeah, I kind of got to do a few of them with him as I got older, but most of the time I had to stay in the back room because I wasn't old enough.
Oh, right.
But they would still come back and put me in all kinds of makeup and they kept me in the fun of it. And
right.
I'd sneak out from time to time because, I was a mischievous little brat that my brother had to tag along all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, RJ was absolutely the driving force in my love of it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I continued on. I kept going from haunted house to haunted house. Sometimes I do a couple different ones a year because at that time there weren't these huge sign-ups and sign-ins and that you showed up at the back door and they said, come on in, and they put makeup on you and they said, go here. That's all it was back then. So I'd work 2 or 3 different haunted houses a year.
Right.
I moved to Kansas City for a while, and I worked Edge of Hell and some other, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was a little underground haunt. It was like in the basement of the sub basement of some building that was there, and
creepy.
Yeah, it was really, really creepy. Yeah. And one of the greatest guys I ever met, and it put something into me for stuff I've always looked out for. What was a guy, and I don't remember I think it was Cliff or something like that, his name, but he had been years previous in a major natural gas explosion.
Oh my!
And pretty much got half of him blown and had tons of skin grafts and all that.
Right.
And he showed up every night to that thing in overalls with a flashlight. And all he did was walk around and shine the flashlight at himself. And he just loved it. He used
terrifying
his tools.
Yeah.
He used his tools. He used what he had to have fun and have a good time with it. And it inspired me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love when somebody takes whatever disadvantage they've got and they use it to their advantage, however they can.
Yeah.
I had done occasional other haunts as I was 20s, 30s. But yeah, once I had Michaela, I kind of quit for a while.
Right.
And then we got together.
I quit for a while too because my ex, the previous one I was with for a couple decades, hated Halloween. She still won't come. She lives in the area and she won't come to the haunt or anything like that. She just hated it. I couldn't have nothing up. she'd do the little fall decorations, you know, the cutesy fall color.
Oh, so she'd go to Hobby Lobby and buy the only Halloween stuff they have.
Yeah,
Right.
the country farmer type of that type of stuff. And she wouldn't let me have any of my action figures and
We've transformed a lot of her stuff.
yeah, we have. And some of it is costuming now.
Right.
That's awesome.
So she's here whether she wants to be or not.
Yeah.
Right.
But then when Laurie and I got together and we found out that we were so heavily into it, or at least wanted to be so heavily into it, in our brains we were, and we matched up and we went out and we bought a hangy clown named Bob.
Yep. We named him Bob.
Who still now hangs in a display case. For years he hung in a coffin that we have on our front porch. And then a couple of years ago, I put him in a display case. He was our first joint Halloween decoration.
Creepy
together.
Halloween
Creepy
decoration,
Halloween
Right, yeah.
And the weird thing was my dad and my brother actually gave us this beautiful solid oak casket that I could barely fit in. It's kind of short.
Fittings on the handles
just gorgeous thing.
Yeah.
And we haven't had the heart to take it off of the front porch and put it out in the haunt because it's just too pretty to put out there and let the weather destroy it.
Right.
And it's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's not one I want to move anyway. So,
well, and that kind of brings us to the, how did you start Sinister Sidney as just like a home haunt, like everybody, like all of us have, and it's just a couple of rooms, couple display things, or did you jump right in? What? Oh, damn.
It was, sorry. I just want to add to that too.
Oh, okay.
I get excited. I get excited about this stuff.
I know.
So when it comes to haunting, like, did you always want to own a haunt? Did you always want to run and operate on? Oh, look at this.
Dan never looked better.
Walk video.
What? Can you ship that to me?
Those are limited edition.
Oh, I think Patricia has one.
I still have Kyle and Liz too over there.
Oh, good.
Yep. Those are limited edition right there.
Yeah. In my case, I didn't even think that was an option.
Yeah.
I was an actor. I wanted to act. I wanted to scare the crap out of people.
Well,
I didn't think it was an option.
And the biggest problem with where we live, it's a small town. Mm-hmm. And this part of the town that we're on is like a no man's zone for trick-or-treaters.
The year I moved here, the city had just expanded their boundaries. So we were out of town. We were a block and a half down from the last block in town. Nobody came down this hill to begin with.
There's not enough houses down here for trick-or-treaters to come down to.
Right.
So we decorated up our porch for a couple of years, and nobody came to see it except the UPS guy and whatever. They're the only ones that ever saw it.
But we kept buying stuff. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there.
What year was that?
That was about 2014 is when we started building stuff up a little bit. And then early 2015.
A friend of mine from work sent me a link about a guy that was selling off his collection. We had no idea how big the collection was.
It was a guy in next town over in Shenandoah that him and his wife, he was Halloween, she was Christmas. And they had two lots. They had a house on one. The other one was just kind of an empty lot. And they had a little bit of it fenced off with a storage shed. And his wife had told him that she ran out of room to store her Christmas stuff. So he had to get rid of his Halloween stuff.
What?
Yeah.
So instead of getting a divorce, he got rid of his shit.
He got
rid of it. He loved her.
We missed a few things. He had some old Jemmy animatronics and stuff that pissed me off. He sold really cheap to this lady, and I saw them the very next day on the swap pages.
Oh, right.
She was selling them
for multiple $100s a piece.
Right.
Of course. She knew what she had.
She did.
Yeah, she did.
But
but we bought his stuff, and there was a foam tomb, and he had some foam stuff that he had
a whole
built.
bunch of cool stuff.
And we bought it lock, stock, and barrel, and just took the whole thing and started talking about let's
see if we can do this.
Let's have a one-nighter. And that's what we did. Our very first 2015. Yep, there's the place. 2015. Yeah, you can see how big my town is, right?
You can tell they want.
What? Oh yeah, he freezes periodically. I don't know why.
Yeah, he froze up.
2015, October 31st. October
that's how we
31st was on a Saturday. And we thought let's do a one night thing. And so I advertised for like 4 months that there's this one night thing and you know, calling all zombies, come on in. And now if you'll notice on that little bit there, okay, you do see Sinister Sidney up by the driveway, right? It says that. Now, if you notice down, there's Blur Design. That's my old computer company. And if you go below that, look at what the other one says.
Mulberry Grove Cemetery.
Yes, we have a cemetery on site. Yes,
that's a recent picture of the fire pit.
Yes, that's a new one. You can see the clown tent with the new lid, and we're pointing at the screen.
We're pointing at the screen.
She hasn't seen the newest pictures yet. But anyway, so we were doing a one night thing. We set it up. Okay, so back up one more notch. No, go back to the map.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Is he frozen again? Oh.
Yeah, he comes in and out.
I'm trying.
There you go. Come in a little bit more. Yeah, keep going. Keep it just so okay. Whatever. So where the drop pin is, where it says Sinister Sidney. Okay, too far. Scroll down so you can see the road. Come on, Troy, get it right.
Give my control.
So,
got it.
So
right
give him hell.
Right there is where people came in.
There you go.
Right where that says, and this was all forest, and I had to cut down a trail through and everything. They came in right there at that corner. They went straight south. Follow with me here, Troy. They went straight south.
South. There you go.
He doesn't know which way south.
Down.
Straight down, Troy. Straight down. There you go.
Okay. Now slide it to the right. So you could actually
you're not gonna be able to explain this without being able to.
Anyway, then we went down about halfway, and then over
to the fire pit that we were talking about.
Fire pit, the little round thing at the bottom of that hole, or the bottom of the screen, that little bitty round thing. That's the fire pit.
Yep.
And then we went back up, and you see my actual house where I live is right there above that. And they came in, they went across, and they went back up, and they went down my driveway, and they walked down the highway, and that's all it was. I think there were 16 scenes, maybe. The first night.
Maybe.
Something like that.
What's the length? I mean, are we talking like 200 yards?
Back then, that was small. That was just the one nighter.
Back then,
I know. What's the walking length? I mean, are we talking?
Yeah. Linear footage was of the actual scary type stuff was a little less than a quarter mile.
Okay.
Okay. So that's where it was at.
Now we no longer take them down the front driveway of our house.
No, that
was the one night only. We take them. They go in that front gate, and that's an old picture because I wish you had the new facade.
That's not really old because the barn is there. So
that's just the old facade.
Is right before.
But back behind where that little pathway goes up in by the barn, there's an exit over there that you can't really see from there.
But the haunt over the years, because we're doing year 9 this year.
Yeah.
Over the years has grown to we're a little over half a mile long now.
Okay.
It's getting a little longer this year.
And this year we're probably adding about 900 feet to it.
And we have added so many buildings.
Yeah. I think 8. We put 8 buildings up.
Facades and buildings, yeah.
Full buildings and facades, and we just keep. Last year, when we started, we ran off generators. I had initially 5 generators. Year 2 we were a full season. Year 1 was the one night. We looked at each other, and we had 200, 250 people that night.
200, 300 people somewhere in there.
Which we were like just flat cool. This is awesome.
How did you advertise it?
Swap pages and flyers.
Oh, okay.
And that was it. Swap pages, the local swap pages and the flyers. And I pushed. I think I might have even paid for one to be, a 100-mile radius or whatever, back in those days. Yeah. But then we said, this went great. Let's give it a shot. We actually that first one night thing, we had 45 people working for us.
Yeah.
Wow.
That blew me
Yeah,
away.
blew us both away.
All the relatives, all the friends, all the everybody's,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. People wanted something to do for sure.
Yeah.
And,
I don't think we've ever had that many since then.
I was going to ask, that was my question. Do you have those friends and family that do it now? Because my first year I had a ton of family and I didn't pay. And now that I pay, I have no family.
We actually have more family doing it now than we did then.
Yeah.
I have the wrong family.
Our real and adopted daughters and sons and
grandchildren.
Our grandchildren. Our youngest actor is 6. My grandson is 6 years old. He's one of our clowns in the clown.
And he's
tent.
adorable.
He is. He even came up with his own game where he 6-year-old thought this up. He had 2 big dice. People come in. He's like, okay, I'm going to roll these dice. And
no, they have to roll the dice.
Oh, they had to roll the dice. That's right. And if you roll the number I'm thinking of, I get to kill you.
6 years old.
If you roll but he wouldn't tell them what the number was he was thinking of. So they always got away.
Oh, I love it.
He's like, oh, darn it. They won again. All right, you can go. But he came up with this all himself.
Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah. And over the years, we just keep adding a little more. We're buying better and better props. We're getting further and further away from the animatronics. Our family ebbs and flows. I mean, last year we had more actors than we've had in years when everybody else was having trouble getting enough actors in their haunts. They're all volunteer. They do it for the love of scaring.
Okay, and before people go into this
Right.
is we are
It's
dubbed
been a thing
as
lately.
the Hulk of home haunts. We still consider ourselves a home haunt.
Yeah.
The only thing that
Makes us pro.
a pro haunt is because first off, we do this out of our pocket. This is a home haunt on our property. We pay for this out of our pocket. We charge to recoup some of what we put out. Yep. We lose $10,000 to $20,000 a year. If you don't recoup.
Yeah. Now, that being said, we do have our LLC. We have our insurance. We've got all of our ducks in a row. We do our taxes. We do it right.
We're on residential, so we actually get a special permit to have the event during the month. But the city loves us, so they have no problem with doing that.
Right.
So
do you think it's better or easier or harder to do it on your own property versus like what Susie does where it's on another property?
We like doing it here because we've got the perfect property for it to begin with.
Yeah.
And
we have control over it.
We used to have all kinds of our kids from the younger ones and whatnot that would come help us with build season. Well, that's kind of been reduced down to a specific few people that help us out
there's
now.
like 4 or 5 of you, right?
So setup is mostly us, and it's easier to just be here and not have to drive back and forth so that when we're exhausted, we can fall over and call it a night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're actually thinking about putting beds at the haunt so that we can.
There you go.
I swear to God, and a shower. We don't have a shower.
I mean, there's a couple haunts that I know that they bring in campers.
Last year was the first year we brought in a porta potty.
Yeah.
Our actors, if they've got to take a bathroom, they run into the house and they use the bathroom.
Or the braver ones will just run behind a tree and water the ground.
Watch out for the rattlesnakes and stuff. Right.
Well, we've always
the raccoons.
Yeah, the raccoons.
Oh yeah.
We've always told them, you know what? You can't pee anywhere on our property that we haven't already peed on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go for it.
I mean,
Go
yeah.
And Kesa said the porta potty was fun to mess with. Kesa is our main Q line actress, and she also goes out in the parking lot where the porta potty was. And yes, she would jack with people that were using it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but we've never done that before because we keep count of our different codes. And so we didn't really want a potty there, but then we'd have people that would drive all the way up the hill to the Casey's and use their bathroom. And it was kind of not good because Casey's is kind of, the manager.
Our bathroom was better.
The manager back then was a little snooty.
Our bathroom was better than theirs.
She's no longer there.
Our porta
thankfully.
potty is better than theirs.
Well, let's because we haven't really shown a lot of videos since you are a pro haunt, you don't let people videotape when they're walking through and stuff like that. So there's not a lot of other videos out there. So, but you did give us your promo video, so we'll show that here real quick. It's just a quick little 2 minutes, so Dan can go take a bathroom break in your porta potty.
I mean, you know, anytime you come to Sinister Sidney, it's gonna be a blast.
God, I love it. Just makes me want to go back to haunted houses again.
Well, unfortunately, the night
right?
that was done, it was a special event that we had done. And so most of our crew wasn't able to make it.
Our regular crew. We had some others standing in.
Yeah, because normally we only do Fridays and Saturdays, and we did an extra night that night.
Now, about one of the scenes in there, of course, chainsaw. Chainsaw. I've actually never been. It's never been a scary thing for me. I've never been a huge fan of the chainsaw stuff, but people love it, so we have it. However, our chainsaw guy, we call Murder Bunny, because he wears a giant bunny head. Okay, he used to wear a full bunny suit. Our previous one did, but our current one is too big to wear the suit. However, our Murder Bunny with our active chainsaw is also our off-duty policeman.
Oh, that's perfect.
So he's in full garb underneath that. Yeah.
And I don't know if any of you noticed the Derek shaft.
Yeah,
that's our mine shaft,
Yeah,
and
right.
he's actually our EMT.
Yeah, we have EMT, we have EMS, we have police working for us, we have nurses working for us. So
yeah,
it helps on the insurance too.
You're right, right?
Definitely.
So I think it's about time for a
question of the week by Haunter's Toolbox.
Haunter's Toolbox question of the week. Okay, this is my thing. This is my thing.
Don't ask me where we store all of our stuff.
All right.
Where do you store all your stuff? Don't answer that.
What is the exact address of where you store everything? I'm kidding. What are
do you have cameras?
Hey now.
What color panties are you wearing?
I'll say panties.
Panties.
That's it. That's the show. What are some of your favorite scare acting lines that you've heard or that you have used? Favorite lines?
Okay, when I guest act, because I don't act at our own haunt because I'm in the ticket booth. One of my favorite ones to pull on young ladies is because I am a vampire. I will walk up to somebody and say, your blood smells divine, but you need more iron. And it freaks them out because I'm half the time I'm right.
Yeah.
Well, more than half. Actually, more than half the time I'm correct because most girls and women have very low iron.
Mm-hmm.
And it just freaks them the fuck out. Sorry.
I have low iron.
Case of likes
What?
Like your ear.
Susie, what about you?
I have no idea where I heard this from, and I probably talked about it before on the show. And I don't use it all the time. I like to use it when somebody's like not scared. A couple years ago, when I had my own scene and I was there, I'm trying to prove a point that scare acting can be done by anybody of any age.
Mm-hmm.
I gave myself my own scene, and I didn't leave. I left one time for a bathroom break and didn't pee the entire season. Anyway, I was a school nurse, and I'm very short and small. And so people were like, and I'd get all kinds of comments and stuff. But I would actually like kind of hunch over and make myself even smaller because that's just something I do when I act. Anyway, I would use it when people would like shoot back at me with like some kind of bullshit, like stupid line.
Yeah.
I would literally stand straight up and use my normal voice and say, I don't even work here. And
oh my God, that is awesome.
People out.
Oh my
all
God,
the
that
time.
is so awesome.
I like
all the
that.
time.
Oh,
it's my favorite thing to do. Because I don't work here. I own the place, bitch. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. But the looks I would get from people.
Oh, that's so good.
Because I would completely break character kind of and just be like, I don't even work here. And I would get this like crazy look in my eye. And they would be like, oh my God, this is like a real.
That? Like if I was busting chops walking through there, what do you say to that? You totally stopped me in my tracks. Don't expect
normally
that.
they'd be speechless walking into the next scene. But
oh my God, that is fucking awesome. That is amazing.
Mike, what about you?
Okay, so I host. I don't get to scare that much anymore either because we got people to. I host the thing, so I'm the rule. I read the rules and give them the lowdown when they come in now. And I talk about that 98% of what you see here is real. We like real stuff. We're out in the the boonies, and so we have real dead stuff all over the place. But I tell them, I tell them 98% of what you see here is real. So don't go poking the dead stuff. It's stinky, it's smelly, it's sticky, and it's real hard to get that smell off your fingers. and I raised my thing. Now, those older of us get the joke.
Yep.
Right.
The kids don't. But most of the time, they, if they actually go up and smell my fingers, I pull a Sinister Sidney pin out of my pocket and give it to them because they're brave enough to have them.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. You do that. We'll talk about that too.
One night, a very funny thing that he had to add to that, though, was don't pet the raccoons. They're not tame. Because we had 3 raccoons that wandered onto the property and were terrified and couldn't find their way off of it with all the crap going on for the haunt.
They were racing between people's legs.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Dan, what about you?
I've got 2 of them. One of them is what I used, and then the other one is what I've heard. Actually, they're both pretty much what I've heard. But so I've been to a lot of haunted houses, and I've seen a lot of actors use lines. So the one that has always stuck out to me. So I like to hear the ones that are entertaining, the ones that make me smile and it make me think twice when I walk through a scene. So I was at Phobius Haunted House, which is no longer,
sad,
in Missouri, R.I.P. Phobius, and we were going through, and it was a live actor night. I don't remember when it was. It wasn't during the season. I think it was during a Transworld event. We were going through. And there was an actor in an area. You went through an outhouse, and then you came back out, and there was a bunch of sheets, like drying on things, and you walk through the sheets. And the guy jumped out of the sheets and said, "Welcome to Sheet Night." And he said, "We got all kinds of sheet going on right now." Like he was just going on with the sheet. The pun was hilarious, and I've never heard it anywhere else in a haunted house. And the fact that they used it as a funny line versus a scary line. I I just it was hilarious. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
That's awesome.
So that's definitely the one that I've heard of that sticks in my head that I love to hear. As far as other ones, the one that I always like to hear, and my friend Kyle uses it a lot in the haunt, was you smell different when you're sleeping.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that one too.
That's one of my favorite ones.
good.
It's creepy.
Yeah,
Especially when
just,
you're right up behind them and whispering
Yes.
it.
right.
Yes.
Give him chibis.
Or you smell like regret and indecision. That's another one.
How did you know that's what I wear?
By the way, true story.
New fragrance.
Back to what you just said. I worked the final night of Phobius at Phobius. That
Oh, did you?
transformed when the very final night there. They shut down the next day before they moved.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yep, I worked that night.
Was that the night that Michael Edwards was was up front? Okay,
Oh,
so
the
that
ring-
was the guy in the
ring
sheets
member.
area. He was saying,
Okay.
"Welcome to Sheet Night." That was the night.
That
Oh,
cool,
nice.
cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
good stuff. Good stuff.
I only acted when I was a kid, and I acted one time in my own haunt. But I was the front door clerk of a hotel, so I didn't really have
Good
like
evening.
scary lines or anything. But it's my wife, and she has this uncanny ability to speak like a little girl. And she does it in this high-pitched, extremely unnerving voice, and she calls herself Sally, and she just like, "Hi, Sally," and she has this weird laugh that she does, and it's it's like chalkboard, nails on the chalkboard, and she does it so perfectly, and
It's like my Elmo impression, nails on a chalkboard.
Yes, but only 10 times better because it's my wife, not you.
Wow.
But yes, she would do that. And the thing is, when we had the motel and the front desk was outside of the motel, and then I opened the door and the first drop panel was her. So all night long, I heard Sally all night for like 5 nights. And it just like, I mean, I didn't want to hear her for like a week after that, but it was very, very, because sometimes she wouldn't drop the drop panel. She would already have it down and they wouldn't even look because it was right inside the door off to the right. So they would just, and then she would, and she would just talk to him like a good actor. She would notice something about them or about something on them, and she would use that in their spiel. And that's one of the biggest things when I had a walkthrough haunt, I always told people you have to pivot for every single guest based on who they are, what they're wearing, things like that, so that then you can obviously, change and you can give everybody an experience. Evidently,
I was just about to bring that up.
We need to hear this deer
started,
impression.
Susie started laughing, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Is it the laughing deer from Evil Dead?
I
Micah,
think we need
thank
to
you
hear
for
it.
clicking in because you are
it won't
giving us
translate
insight
well
that we
on
will
here.
never know.
Oh, it won't translate well on here.
It's,
Well, I
it's
figured
an in-person thing. Micah,
Micah, we love you.
wait till I see you again.
Michael,
We love you. Keep bringing it.
Sean said that when he went through a haunt last year, his wife was on crutches at the time going through the haunt, and somebody said, "Hey, chopsticks."
Yeah, that's good. That's quick-witted.
That's
Shane-
great.
Shane
That's
asked-
great.
Quick-witted thing.
Shane
Just
asked
do
about what's the best comment we ever heard out of a patron. I had one this last year that it broke me. I started laughing so hard I couldn't handle it. We had one gentleman come through who was bringing a batch of, and this is not in a racist way because it came from them, bringing a batch of Mexicans through the haunt. They barely any English whatsoever.
Barely any English, yeah.
And I'm telling him, I'm going through the spiel, and he's trying to translate all the stuff. And I talked about, don't touch anything, it will break. Don't. And one of them started up in almost perfect English. And he said, "Don't worry, dude, we're Mexican. We'll fix it. We'll fix it quick. We'll do it cheap, and we'll be out of here." It broke me.
Oh my god!
It just broke me.
I'm writing that down.
I
That's
died.
awesome.
I'm writing that down. A batch.
A batch.
A
I
batch
need a
of
batch of Mexicans over here.
Well, we're in small town Iowa. You don't see a lot of that or other races,
Bullshit.
but they do come in and they are a blast because they scare like super easy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we play on phobias more than anything.
Right.
And if you've got a phobia, we're probably going to nail it at some point in time during the night.
Susie's dying. She can't even breathe now. She's crying. She's crying. Yeah,
if you guys keep talking, I'm just gonna go.
That is a 1940s used autopsy.
I had one of those.
Yes.
I had one of those.
Yep.
It was in
That's
my
so
garage
cool.
until my wife made me get rid of it.
And that's a ghost
Damn
ride
it.
honor.
That's Barbara. Yeah.
There's the shaft.
There's the shaft.
That
Yeah.
is the Derek shaft. Yes.
That's just the shaft, right?
That is just
That's
the shaft.
So we're like out on the tip?
tip. It's just.
Are we out on the tip or is the tip at the end?
No,
this was
hey, that's at the
added
base.
here.
You can tell that's at the base if you look. You can see at the base there.
Hey, there's my
I-
ticket.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It really wasn't that long, but people spent half an hour and they're getting lost. There's
I
some
would
No, I
spend
mean,
one hour in the shaft.
size matters, Mike. Size
Yeah,
matters.
girth. It's got
And
wide
you'll lie
wall.
about it. And you'll
It's
lie about
nice.
it anyways.
That's our circus tent area, our circusy area. I don't like. We put that in specifically because our first year somebody wanted to be a clown, and they were one of our main people, and so okay, I built them a circus tent, and now this is where we raise our grandkids and where we train younger ones and things like that. She's all right, Trees.
I'm fine. Thanks for checking on me, though. I'm good.
Do we need
Yeah,
to dispatch a batch of Mexicans to help you?
That's the junkyard.
Oh.
That used to be a vortex tunnel.
It used to be a vortex tunnel, yes, until the snow collapsed the entire building.
And the rings of the tunnel
And so
itself.
we kept the bridge. There's part of Spider Hollow. Yeah, there's the rules. That's where I stand. That's my spot right there.
I like it. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Well,
Bury your own bodies.
and depending on who is there, I tell them, I wanted to put "Don't be a dick," but my wife wouldn't let me because we got kids coming through here. There's
That's
Bernie.
where Mike films all of his promos for
Yep.
the Hot
No,
Chat
that's
Live.
not.
No, that's
No,
the
it's
hillbilly
not.
shack.
No,
Oh no, you
that's
did.
the-
You
no,
did,
that's
you
the
did our
Tavern
video.
shack.
You're
You did our
back
video,
then.
mine and Dan's video for Dan's video for the for
Yeah,
the
my video.
pandemic thing.
That's
Yeah.
where I danced at.
Right.
correct.
Yeah. That's not a real
there's-
horse, right?
That is a life-size fiberglass Arabian.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the
Where'd you
antique
score
store.
that?
Yeah.
Out of an antique store, and it was in crap condition, and we fixed it up. That was our first most expensive prop purchase. And got us our first newspaper article.
Yep.
Because we were loading it up in the back, and it happened to be
Back of
across
a pickup.
It happened to be across the street from a newspaper, and one of the reporters walked out and went, "What you doing?" And we told her what it was about. She's like, "Can I do an article on it?" And like, "Yeah, you bet." So that's where there's our cemetery. With
That is a real cemetery.
That is Mulberry Grove Cemetery right there. That is a actual legitimate cemetery. We don't tell people, see all those crosses there? Those are only 2 years old. It's our pet cemetery.
Got it. Okay. You had me going there. I was like, wait, you really have a cemetery?
Well, some of the tombstones are real.
Yes, they are real.
We got 4 of them.
I think we got 4 of them.
We got 4 of them donated to us. They were originally the military stones for people.
And they had been replaced.
And they had been replaced over the years by having a stone that had him and his wife wherever those had been. Or because they were broken.
And the people didn't want the old ones, so the stone worker, whatever guy, had them in his house. And we had friends who lived in that house. Now they're like, "Do you want these?" They've been sitting next to the house for 40 years. And we're like, "Yeah,
yes,
sure."
please. Yes, please.
So what as we keep going through these, what is one of your I hate it is the wrong word. What is your most difficult scene to, because I know you take down the majority of it every year, right?
No, actually, we leave
a
up the
lot.
majority. Boy, you got that one wrong. Man.
Okay.
You
All
do
right.
the homework, dude.
You don't know it all, Troy.
I don't.
Wow.
I don't.
No, we
Whoever said
actually
I did.
leave up most of our stuff, especially like this year. We got to leave up our dragon even because we replaced our dragon tunnel with an actual steel greenhouse structure.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sorry, Kevin, not happening.
Yeah.
But like, do you leave up like you would take down the 12-foot?
Yes, we take down the 12 footers. We bring in all the expensive props. We bring them in and store them and things like that. But like this whole, we have several buildings now that are permanent. No, wait, Sidney did not hear me say permanent. They are temporary buildings.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You can
leave
take
them
them down and
we could have them down in a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely gone in a day.
Like that one's just a facade. It's
Oh,
only like 3 foot deep.
However, it is also used for storage.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's where he stores it, Susie.
Wow,
there you go.
I got it. I got it. You showed me the map.
We're 10 acres. It's everywhere when we store it. Everywhere.
Right. Yeah. But is there a scene that you like don't look forward to doing every year? Like you're like, I love it, we need to have it, but I don't like it's time consuming and stuff.
Spider Hollow kicks my ass every year. Okay, it's big, it's massive, and very few people actually know how to pull web.
Oh yeah.
And it's really hard to get enough help. Last year, Joe our main contractor got kind of annoyed because he watched me spend 3 weekends in that Spider Hollow webbing it. Generally, every other year, I only have to kind of touch up a little, but then every opposite of that, I have to completely redo it.
Yeah,
and that one hurts.
We leave it up year round so that the leaves and
everything gets
dirty, and so we just add layers every year.
Right. Well, that's smart. I know I have another picture of the. So is this now? This is this your entrance now?
No, that is actually not the entrance. That is our photo op. That is just at the end of the queue line after you bought the tickets, so they can stand up in front of that to get their pictures taken. And I tell them I'll offer to hold the camera and take the picture, and I tell them, okay, so let's all say, please do not kill me. And we have this what is it? 15? No, not 50. It's like 8-9 foot tall Reaper that's behind me. That is actually a guy on stilts, and who's been standing as a statue, and he'll come right at him as I take the picture, so we get stair cam shots.
And actually, that picture, the angle of it, you would have just left my ticket booth and been walking directly towards that from the ticket booth.
That's cool. Photo ops are good. Photo ops are good. I know you got the one with the hay bales there too, which is cool.
Yeah. That's our
there it is.
Daughters and granddaughters. Yeah, that's part
of it.
That's part of it. That's not even all of it.
So you have to redo that almost every year because obviously the weather.
Every other year. Usually
every other year.
One year I'll have to just touch up, and then the next year I'll have to totally redo.
Right. That's the queue line. Well, that's after the ticket queue line. That's where they all line up, and it goes up to where I read the rules, and they actually enter.
Yeah, it's right after the 12-foot skelly.
That's where we used to have all the little kids.
Until
we're revamping that this year.
Missing. I do like how much lighting you have. Like how much this like this picture. Don't get a big head about this, but this gives me Haunted Overload vibes. When I see a lot of the ways that you light up your
I use red, green, and blue, and I use
occasionally a yellow.
No, not very often. Not anymore. And I use pan lights, and I don't like. I hate the LEDs. I like the LEDs to begin with, but now they're all 40, 60, 100 watt. I want 13 to 25.
And we do a lot of low lighting and stuff like that. And
these pictures came out great. It is not this bright when you're there.
Oh, of course. But like this one, I mean, you've got so much color in this.
So many levels of color there.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Well, and we like to mess with people's eyes. You go from very, very bright to very, very dark.
Oh, yes.
In between the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like to slam people's pupils back and forth.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you already have the creepiness of being outdoors. You have all that stuff that the trails. There are so many haunts that try to recreate this in a building and can never really do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can add scents, you can add crunchy leaves on the ground, you can add cold.
I like to emulate moonlight and natural light. I try to.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's one of the things I wanted to touch on before we go to the question, Dan's awesome segment. When everybody
we're
loved
calling it now?
Everybody
awesome
loved it.
segment.
One of the things that I know you guys are doing more lately is you're doing the traveling acting, and quickly, not 8,000 minutes, but how did you get into that, and like what is the process if somebody wanted to get into traveling acting? They think they're good enough to go to a bigger haunt or whatever. What's that process?
You hit up the haunt.
Really?
In this case, the main one we've been doing is My Bloody Valentine at Arch Mortis in Alabama. We did it last year. We loved it. We came back. We're going to keep coming back. For that one event, they open it up to traveling actors. Anybody, any scare actor across the country or beyond that wants to come on in.
Yeah.
And everybody gets a t-shirt, and type of thing. And it's just grown. They had over 100 guest actors that weekend when we were there this year.
Really?
I think that's
almost worth going. Just for going to that show as a haunter or a patron.
Yeah.
Just to see amazing actors under one roof.
Right.
Yeah. We were actually not doing a lot. I mean, I'll work at night at our sister Haunt Madness up in Council Bluffs.
Right.
After we close, because they're open later in the season than we are.
Right.
So I try and work a night there. But at Arx Mortis, the folks there they're all right. 2 years we've done it, and they're like huge family. We got hooked up with that through like them or don't like them, Scurry Face. We love them. They're the ones they're the ones that actually helped start the doing. And I think it's been 10 years they've been doing it now. So. They've been doing the My Bloody Valentine open to actors and other ones coming in.
Okay.
And they're the ones who introduced us to it. And we're like, yeah, let's do it. We can get to act. We get to scare the crap out of people.
I don't get that chance.
And I get a cat tree.
Giant cat tree, yes.
Which I created a character for just so I can run around on it without looking like a fool.
Looking like a fool, speaking of, God, I messed that up. Speaking of looking like a fool, this is not my night.
No, this is definitely not your night, but it's okay. It's time for rapid fire questions.
We're in trouble now.
Mike and Laurie, are you guys ready for these rapid fire questions that aren't so rapid?
Now, who are the questions to? Are they to us or to everybody?
Just you two.
Only you guys. Answer
just
them
you
as
two.
quickly as you can without thinking too hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
If you had 1 hour with any haunter, who would it be?
Dan Noble.
Oh, Jesus. God, we already know the answer to question 4. Fuck.
Laurie, do you want to answer?
Present company excluded.
That was not part of the question.
Alan Hobbs is amazing. I would love to spend an hour just sitting and talking to him because he's always so busy when I see him.
True.
This is true.
Well,
you're the first one on the trade show floor at your favorite trade show / convention. What booth do you go to first, and what do you purchase?
We just walk the floor first.
We've been to so many. Yeah,
we walk around first and then go back to what we wanted.
We got a fantastic thing.
It's the what's that shopper show called? Where you get one chance, you get a shopping cart, and you get to go wherever you want. Shop till you drop.
Distortions.
Yeah, distortions.
That's what I need to hear. Okay. And which one do you grab from Distortions? What prop? Don't say all.
Whatever they got.
Right.
First thing you put your hands on. Fair enough.
I think we need to change that question to
whatever I can afford.
If you had $1,000 and you were at the trade show floor, what is the first booth you'd go to?
Oh, that would limit it. That would really limit it.
Yeah, that would limit it.
I would just say any dollar amount. You're there.
I'd probably have to go to one of the FX makeup places. Not saying any specific one, but I would probably have to go there and get Angelica a crap ton of makeup if I had $1,000 that I had to blow quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Question number 3: Troy or Dan? That a boy, that a girl. Look at that.
God damn it.
We love you, Troy. No, I have a real hard time with
this.
this.
Are we talking big spoon or little spoon?
Oh, whatever spoon you want, as long as my name comes up.
We have
That's
a real
weird. I don't know where my template went for those haunt awards that I make. That's weird. I don't know where that
I was just gonna say we have a hard time with this because Dan has always been our
Dan got me into doing all this shit.
Dan got him into all this. But Troy, you are amazing. You give the shirt off your own goddamn back if they ask for it.
Literally.
I mean,
nobody wants to see that though. So
letting the record know that that's another person that said Dan. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we've still got that chauffeur sign, and he makes our
awards every
family's day because there are 5 awards that he makes every year, and our actors want them. Every year they want them.
You're the only one that I'm going to do it for, too. I'm not going to do it for anybody else.
Love it. Love it. All right. Question number 4. If you had the chance to go to any haunted house in the United States, which one would it be?
Oh, shit. There's so many.
First one comes to mind.
I'm going to get to go to in July is Dark Hour.
Dark Hour, yep.
Okay.
I want to do Netherworld. I want to do Overload. I wanted to, there's
so many. There's too many to pick from, but yeah.
And last, I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. Actors or animatronics? Actors. Yes, indeed. That's all I got. That's it. That's only 5.
Yay!
By the way, Troy, that background picture you have, that's where I shoot my promos.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
We did. I did meet Shane at a bus stop on the way to MHC.
Is there any context? Okay, because that could be very
No, we literally we walked across the parking lot or the little walkway there to get to our bus to take us to MHC on that free Columbus bus. That was awesome. It was the first time me and Jim had ever been to MHC, and nobody else knew we were coming.
Right.
And so Shane was the first person to see us, and we said, "Shh."
You're lucky he kept his trap shut.
He did. Shane also wants to know if you're going to wear your Rockstar spandex this year.
I got them.
As long as it comes with some Rockstar hair.
I got them. They're upstairs. Although I've lost some weight, I might have to get a new pair that's nice and tight.
Anytime.
Kevin decided to show up 5 minutes ago, so he said he's going to come.
Better late than never, Troy. Better late than
promises.
never.
He wants us to start from the beginning. So welcome to the Haunt Tower, everybody. We're
it's not happening. It's not happening. Kevin, watch the rerun.
Yep.
Yeah,
watch
you
the
watch the
replay.
rerun, sir. So yeah,
there's a lot of funny shit in there.
You can fall off your chair with me.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to thank Dan Noble for the payback tonight of saying "fuck it" to the time on the hour show. Thank you.
Hey, you are welcome.
Okay, but once again, if you look at the bottom right there, it says 7:20. Who's on next week's show? It is 7:24. We are not.
It is 10:24.
It's
10:24 for
Pacific
us old
time.
people.
Pacific time. Okay,
Yes.
we are not off of our timeline.
All
And
right.
we say it's the Haunt Tower.
Hey, Mike, thank
Thanks,
you
Dan.
for you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being on this show. I appreciate you.
Sean wants to know. So, Sean, I come up with weird, silly names for us throughout the season. Corn-fed because they're Iowa people, Sidney, Iowa. And Susie did not get her nap tonight. So
so everyone knows, I take a nap before the show every night, every Tuesday.
To deal with us.
And then when I wake up, I brush my teeth because I just feel like I'm going on some hot date. And so I brush my teeth.
And then it's a letdown every time. It's not a hot date. And
It's not. I never.
You get there, it's
I
like,
never-
it's a bunch of dudes.
Obviously never do my hair, which
It's
is
a bunch
why
of dudes,
I
and I don't have to do my hair. Hey, look at that.
But I didn't nap, so I have no idea why it looks like this today.
But she's super upset about that. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes.
I didn't get my nap.
And,
I think it was the
panties
time
were
change.
mentioned all night.
So if you want to check out things that have to do with Sinister Sidney and not Susie's panties or her messy hair.
Susie doesn't have panties tonight, remember?
Oh yeah,
Did you forget?
Commando. We're going commando tonight. I forgot. Speaking of commando, it looks like it's kind of messy in this area back here. Somebody can hide back there. So You can check them out at Sinister Sidney. They are number 1 in 2019, 2020, 21, and 22. They're not number 1. So we'll
well,
you got to spread it around. See,
right? You can't be number 1 every year. And Sean, you can also check them out at sinistersydney.com. I have a feeling that Mike made this website himself, and it was made in 1984.
Not really. I just used a template and put it together. We use Facebook mainly.
Shush it, Sean. I'm going to give you a dirty hand slap. Yes, I know he just left the Transworld show. I know. They also have a YouTube page. Hold on. We'll talk about that in a minute. Sinister Sidney. They
Who's
only
that
have
guy?
Behind the scenes.
Who's that guy?
I know. He's got lots of build videos, lots of stuff of what they're doing. He's laughing in almost every one of them.
I am, aren't I? I'm a
All
happy guy.
sorts of smiles.
Happy guy.
Mike's a happy guy. He's a happy guy.
Yeah.
So get this,
We love Mike.
315 subscribers. We need to get some more in here. Come on, people.
Oh yeah. No
You can also check out all of his interview shows on Haunt Chat Live on YouTube, as well as on Facebook as well. So you can even see, like right here, look at this. Terror Tours. Look at that. There's me. That's me. It's great. And then Haunt Collective, there's Dan, who never invites me on the show, but whatever. They also have an Instagram page. Mike is involved in every social media that hasn't even been created yet. So
right.
I love it.
Type in Sinister Sidney on Google and 13 pages of stuff will come up. Yeah. Also the Haunt Chat Live stuff, which oddly enough looks the exact same thing as the Haunt Chat as the Sinister Sidney stuff. So he's probably just putting stuff in both pages.
Pretty much.
Why too busted?
And you are also real quick. You are in a you are the narrator and a it says right here executive producer for a movie that's coming out. When is Springsville coming out?
Well, it's been delayed a little bit. We're hoping now July or August. It was supposed to be this month, but they lost some had some corrupt files while editing, and it kind of did. They have to do some reshoots.
So is it maybe edited by some guy who can't edit an intro right?
No. He's good. It's actually edited by the director.
Oh, good. By a professional. That's good.
Yeah, no, he's good.
He's a rock star pimp from hell. I love you, Shane.
But yes, I'm in that one, and then I'm also in a short horror one called Exodus. That's hopefully, I think he's doing an official release in October, but because you got to wait for all the film festivals it's in to be done with.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you can see Mike and Laurie are traveling actors. They're haunters. They're horse people. They love horses. Haunt owners. They are community members, and they are mom and dad as well,
and grandpa and weird
grandpa.
uncle.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you guys for coming on and making
it was our pleasure.
I appreciate
putting up with our
coming along for this magical ride.
Weirdness.
Oh, you put up with us just as much as we put up with you, so I think we're even.
That's very true.
With on that note, hey Troy,
hey,
what's going on next week?
What's going on next week? Segue.
Yeah, I did a better job.
We have the most awesomest guy in the haunt industry.
I'm on again.
Oh, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Who says that?
Everybody on the list that's on our guest list is going, who's that? Who's that? I thought it was me. There's several people right now. They're like, me. No, it's Maximus Christian Bryant.
Oh, yes.
All right. That's pretty good.
Super most awesomest. Not just awesomest, but super most awesomest. Dear to our hearts.
Yes,
Kevin.
Love you, Max. Always will.
Yep. So Max will be on. He is Ohio Haunters Association, and one of the biggest champions of the haunt industry. That guy talks about everything that's going on in the haunt industry, especially in Ohio. But he's a champion of everything that's going on. He's a great guy. So we will have him on next week to talk about all of his stuff.
Can we talk about the things he doesn't want to talk about?
Oh, we're going to talk about everything he doesn't want to talk about.
He better be ready.
Like panties.
It's going down.
Yeah.
Speaking of down, speaking of going down,
Speaking of going down, Susie will be wearing panties next week.
speaking of going down with the dirty
And
hands,
we're going to have Micah on as a special guest to talk about all of Susie's shenanigans.
maybe we should start the roast one with Susie instead. We should just have the roast of Susie. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I don't like that.
All right, well,
I don't like that.
either
Not a
way.
fan.
Either way, thank you everybody for coming on. Mike, Laurie, we always appreciate you and your smelly fingers.
Okay.
I may have to bump somebody from later on in the season.
Time to head out and change our panties. So everybody have a fantastic evening, and we will see you next weekend. Or no, not weekend. We'll see you next Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Sometime.